Today I would like to tell you how to use a lighting and image. I just input a rubbish bin in my scenario and I give it high gloss on each of the parts by keeping this part and this part mint colors. So actually basically default of the lighting present is basic. And there has another performance mode. The performance mode is equal to performance mode in here. So if I click a performance mode, you're gonna see the light it's a shadow from or reflecting from this object is this pair. So let's disable the performance mode and reheat the performance mode. You could see the same function between these two objects, right? Between these two options. Okay, let's turn off this, change to products mode. So products mode, how it be described as direct and indirect lighting with shadow for greater realistic and with transparent materials. So if you use a products mode and you have a transparent product, you have a better render by using a products mode. Let's do practice. So let's go into edit and added a cubes to the thing. Waiting for a while. And remember how to scale it. I'm gonna enable this and hold the yellow block and drag your mouth and move your mouth to here. It's too small. Let's drag a bigger. And then I'm gonna do at once snaps to the ground. Okay, and state okay. So let's go into the materials libraries. Let's go into a translucent and not translucent. Maybe we could give a glass materials to it. Okay, if I go into a performance mode, you're gonna see it's become a very dark effect. If you go into basic mode, okay, products mode, maybe it's better than the basic products. Okay, let's delete it. Delete this part. Yes. Okay. And if you choose the interiors mode, you're gonna see a lot of grades on the surface at the very beginning, but at the same time you can't see a lot of noise on the surface. The effect is the same as if you turn on the denoise. After waiting, and you will see the grid or delted will disappear gradually from the surface. Especially after you render, you get the image, you cannot see the grids showing on the surface anymore. So it's a little bit different compared with what you say now. Okay, lens jewelry, how describe it? It's a very good rendering the details. Full stimulation, all light effect includes indirect light and caustic for the greatest realisms. So this is very suitable for doing rendering for very details of the product. So in commonly, we just turn on in products render, products mode. And in the environment lighting, shadow qualities, it's going to control the shadow qualities. If you turn like skip P1, it's become a very roughly shadows beneath of the object, but it's going to make you computer runs faster. If you just give a 2050s, it's going to make your laptops do more renders. It's make your laptop more slowly, right? So basically, it's just to turn on the ground illuminations. It's describe indirect light rebouncing produced by the ground. If I just turn off this, a little bit different between turn on or turn off. And here is the self shadows. Self shadows. This means is shadow cast between 3D objects. See if I turn on these, it's gonna be lighter than if I turn on the shelf shadows. If I turn on, it's gonna become darker. And the general lighting rebouncing is maximum number times light is reflected and refracted as it passes through the scene. So the light is go across the scene. And if the number is bigger, it's gonna make your computer runs slowly, but it's gonna calculate for more lighting effects. And this is default is turn on global illuminations. It's describe indirect light rebouncing between 3D objects. It's gonna turn on. You're gonna see the darker than before. So that means it's become a darker than before, right? If I turn off. And also if I turn on this, it's a little bit different, but not big difference. Basically we just keep a products mode. If I just go into a interiors mode, it's gonna similar than if I turn here the interiors mode. And smooth global illuminations also a little bit different, but not a big difference. Let's go into a image. So image in here, you could try to change the resolutions of this graph, right? If I turn on this, and if you change these numbers, the height will go follows the Y to change the proportions. But if you turn off, you can individually change the numbers on the width or height. And basically we just keep here basic. If I just turn on graphic, it's gonna become a little bit different. I'm gonna talk to you later. And let's go back to basic. And in here, in adjustments, you could also adjust exposures, right? Exposures to make you the scene has more lighter than before. Gamma is also kind of similar to make your scene lighter or darker. Denoise, if I turn on this, you won't see a lot of noise on the surface. The function is the same as here. Compared to before, there's no noise on the surface, right? You could also change the data in here, the noise, blends, or Fairley flutters. You could try by yourself. But at the very beginnings is a little bit weird, but you need to waiting for a while to make it calculated to got the final resolutions. In here is vignette. If I turn on these, it's gonna make the corner of your scenario become the color you set in here. See, if I want to give a very dark black colors, on the corner you will see darker colors than the center of the scenario, right? You could also adjust the range. You could got a darker colors, strong colors you want. And also I will tell you, if in here, before you have a startup modes, you're gonna just have a rendering view windows in here. You're not gonna have the library on the left side and the right side. Let's just turn on in default. So in default, there has a render numbers or regions. Render numbers, if you click on these, let's delete this sphere first. Yes. So if you turn on these, its render numbers for perfectly smooth curves and rounds. So it helps you have a more smooth render on the surface. If I turn on regions, you could just scale, just adjust the windows of the scenario you want by drag these corners to adjust it. Okay, let's turn off this. If I turn on this geometry view, in here you could see how the camera's locations is how your object's locations. If you turn on the light managers, let's turn off this. Light managers. You could, in here, you could adjust the brightness of your scene and contrast of your scene and rotation of the light systems. Okay, today we finished talking about how to use set lighting and image. See you in next class.